What is FEMA, or Region 10, or R10 YPC? Well, FEMA stands for Federal Emergency Management Agency. Region 10 is Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, and it's the Youth Preparedness Council. The vision for this is to get youth to come and get a better prepared community. I don't know what this computer's doing. What is ham radio anyway? I'll grab this to explain later. It's basically a radio that uses it's a radio that uses direct communication or repeaters to communicate, or the distance varies on frequency. And different frequencies need different licenses. Technician is the basic one. You can use ham to communicate to your friends across the city, across states, or across countries. You do need a higher frequency to go across countries. So first, to kind of help us understand more about ham radio, let's review some history. As you can see, in 1873, James Clerk Maxwell presented his theory of the electromagnetic field. In 1901, I'm just going to call him Macaroni, communicated across the Atlantic with a radio device using high power and giant antennas. Definitely bigger than this. Congress approved the Radio Act of 1912, which required amateurs to be licensed and restricted to a single wavelength of 200 meters. 200 or 2. We usually call it 2. And that's what B is drawn on. In 1914, the American Radio Relay League was founded by Hiram Percy Maxim, who found that messages could be sent more reliably over long distances if relay stations were organized. Transatlantic, or Atlantic, transmitting and receiving tests began in 1912, and by July 1960, the first two-way contact via the moon took place on 1296 megahertz. So MHZ actually word is actually called megahertz. Today we are on CW, phone, SSB, FM, packet, TV, Pactor, PSK, 31RTY, and other modes, bouncing signals off the ground, ionosphere, and the moon. Hams are active in nearly any country in the world, ranging from people less than 10 all the way up to 100. I actually got my license when I was 12, so. What are some uses of ham radio? Most of the time, ham is used to talk to other friends, family, and other people. They can be used for emergency communications, are used, as you can see, very used by movie stars, missionaries, doctors, students, politicians, truck drivers, and regular people. An example how missionaries use them is the missionaries in the jungle can communicate to the bush plains via ham radio. The military can use it and do use it overseas. Aircraft use different bands to talk to people, to talk to air traffic control as well. Ocean-going vessels use it to talk to other people on shore. Coast Guard uses it a lot. It can talk to astronauts and the space station. The space station, and if you want to talk to astronauts, it does have to be somewhere around you. You can't talk to them if they're like on the other side of the world. Ham can be used anytime. Example, just earlier, we were talking to my dad. We didn't use a phone, we used ham. Ham can also make phone calls, check the weather, use it as a scanner. You can hook it up to a laptop and talk to users around the world via Wi-Fi. You can send emails. You can call people. Check into emergency nets as a visitor. That is a video, but first I'm going to show you something else you can do with a ham. So so this one has an orange button, but it can be different on other radios. It says call. Now if I click that once, it's an FM radio.
Cool.
You can change the channels, don't worry.
Okay. Cool. Emergency radio. Cool.
I'll play this video. Maybe.
Wi-Fi hooked up?
Oh, that's probably good. Okay.
We'll do that for the next round.
Okay. So what can and can't I do with ham radio? You can talk to friends, family, as I said before. You can program them yourself. So you can put them right here. So wire, you can plug this in, and plug it into your computer and program it yourself. You can build them yourself. You can talk to astronauts, as I said before. You can help with emergencies. And you can call people out. Like you can call people with this without cell service. So, can'ts. You can't say swear words. The first time, you'll get a warning. The second time, you get your license taken away.
Like permanently, or like, is there like a
It
limit?
depends.
Okay.
That'd be a challenge for me.
I'm just kidding.
You can't run a ham radio without a license. You can't let your friends borrow your radio if they don't have a license. But all of you guys have to have a license if you want to talk.
Now, can you be with them? Like, can you like be sitting there with them and they can talk, or no? Everyone has to have a license before they can say anything
You
on the radio.
You can sit by your friend. You just can't talk.
Okay, but I can listen in. Okay. Okay.
Also something I would struggle with.
A reminder, ham radios, the license is a federal license. So, there it is. If you use it inappropriately, you get a warning, you get 2 warnings, and then you get a $10,000 fine. And then you'll get it taken away. So, there are different types of ham radios. So there's there is different types, but these are the 3 basic ones. Now this is a handheld. You can get shorter ones, like my mom's right here. See, it's shorter, but it's fatter. Or you can kind of see it. Kind of like how I describe it is, I use my 2 cats as an example. The one cat, 20-pound ginormous thing. To kind of describe, people who've been in ham for a while, they'll have these big radios, and that's how I kind of think of my cat Firecracker, 20-pound floof, compared to the little handheld, which would be my other cat's, which is still normal. So, number 2 is mounted in vehicles. Example, the ones in the trucks. You can see the antennas on top of the trucks. And you can put those in, you can put them in trucks, cars, side-by-sides, ATVs, snow machines. I haven't tried snow machine, or at least I haven't. You can. If you don't want to mount, you can't. If you don't want to mount a ham radio in your truck, or the quad, or I call them quads, ATVs, four-wheelers, same thing, or side-by-side, just bring the ham radio, or the handheld. Then you have the base stations. Typically in your home, they will have a large antenna. They'll have a power supply and transceiver. You can put the antenna on your roof, in your yard, on the side of your house. Kind of anywhere. I don't think I mentioned repeater. You can use these back and forth without a repeater, but if you want to talk to other people, as you can see, it's like on top of the mountain. You want to call this dude repeater. Yeah.
So the signal wouldn't go through the mountain, you have to go up to the repeater and then it goes down.
The repeater, kind of like, to explain a little bit more, it's a radio relay that retransmits your signals from like a high spot to distant users. It has an input and an output frequency. They can be linked to other repeaters to cover a bigger area, which I'll explain. Linked repeaters in the next slide. Some have the capability to make phone calls. They can make phone calls over phone dead areas. So like going in a valley, you can't call with your phone. The repeater will help.
Does someone have to run a repeater, or does it do its own thing?
You build them yourself and then you program them yourself.
You can also buy them pre-made.
Oh, okay.
Building them is a cool way. Once they get that, they pretty much run them by themselves. They are privately or clubbed owned. They can be used by any licensed user. I do not remember what to use call sign. So here's an example. So if you can call somebody, like if I were to call my dad, I'd say his call sign first, like K7CPI, then mine, KJ7VMN. And that's to call somebody. But if you're not calling anybody, you just want to see if anybody's out there, you do this. KJ7VMN monitoring. That's how you know.
And if there is anybody out there monitoring, they'll answer, unless they're busy. Sometimes I don't answer back because I'm busy.
Okay, 048, keep a file monitoring also.
Tell them what you're doing.
This is KJ7VMN. I'm currently doing a demonstration for a ham radio presentation. Here's an example.
That was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Where's he at?
That's the location.
What's your location?
It's over here in Wasilla, that's where the location is.
Okay.
When the tones are done. Sometimes tones interrupt. Those are scrambled, usually PD.
Look where in Wasilla, you want to see where he's at, the demonstration.
I don't remember his call sign.
That's okay.
Just go for it anyway.
This is KJ7BMN at the Wasilla Museum doing a ham presentation.
What's your location?
What is your location?
This is KL4 Yankee Papa QTH is Church and Selden. Church and Selden.
Cool.
All thanks, and, answering back. All set.
Thank you for answering back. KJ7BMN. When you are done,
KJ7 Victor Mike November Kilo Lima 4 Yankee Papa. Standing by.
Looks like you did that international.
so when you're finished talking, you give your call sign again to say what you're signing off.
Is that so you don't have to say over? A million times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the CB days, yes.
Right, okay.
I just say KI7 CPI or KI7 whatever, Claire. Means I'm not done.
You guys could hear me earlier mention linked repeaters. So it uses 2 or more repeaters to rebroadcast the signal simultaneously, provides a huge coverage area by rebroadcasting your signal locally and in areas that are out of range of the local repeater. Uses a number radio channel or internet relay radio signals to every tower in that system. And to kind of explain that a little bit more,
Click the back over to see
here's a picture. I understand what this picture is saying, but I can't describe it very well. So here's my dad.
Basically, right here, like, if you're doing a demo, it's a Wasilla repeater, and it retransmits on a frequency you don't hear, or goes over the internet, it goes someplace like Anchorage, or Joke, or wherever the link to, and you're broadcasting that repeater too, which means when you're there, it comes back. So it sounds like a record. It was rebroadcast the same, every cross everywhere in that system. It makes it easier to connect their banks, the lower 48, third one.
So how many repeaters would it take to get to the lower 48? Like how?
We checked that one over the internet, just that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's called Echo Link. You just use your Wi-Fi instead.
That one's not.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, yeah.
The link computer, that goes over, most of them now go, they use it with a radio frequency, a different band.
Oh, okay.
So if the internet goes down, it's not radio.
Okay.
So if big earthquake hits, power goes out.
when you store someone farts and power goes out.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's what it was this year.
So here's a map with the different repeaters. Now this one is a little out of date because the Houston and Willow repeaters are no longer there. But me and my dad built a repeater and we got the okay to put it in Hatcher Pass.
Nice.
Cool.
And we're planning on getting it linked to different repeaters.
That's awesome. That's right up the road from me. You drive past my house. Looks like there's
So that's all of them in the state. Like there's no.
Yeah,
Wow.
and some of those aren't there anymore.
That's only one frequency.
Oh,
That's
okay.
only one band.
Okay.
That's the 2 meters. So there's a couple other bands for more, if you're more in a tech, and they have some other repeaters, but if a tech can't get on them.
Because the 70 centimeter band, which is 440 frequency, does not go through over mountains or hills very good. The 2 meters goes up and over better, bounces around.
Okay.
So with the 440, will work like in a building here better.
Okay.
But it won't do distance over the hill. So you really need both.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so we just don't use 440 much. Once you have talent, it's going to use this.
Okay.
So how can you get your radio license? Anyone can get a license. For many online study or in-person studies, I use the online where I used to live. there wasn't really many in person. You take a test, get 70% or more. If it's it, fun begins. Get radios. So here's, I think my dad cropped that picture.
So, may I ask a question, or do you want me to save it till the end? It's about the test. Okay. So about the test, do they have, so you can take the test online or in person?
Yeah.
Okay, and do they test you on, like, actually using the equipment, or is it just knowledge-based off of what you read in?
It's knowledge-based.
Okay.
So here's the Nick and KL7 JFU.
Cool.
Okay, so as you can see here, the Knick tribe put on a is putting on a ham exposed camp for grades 9 through 12. So here's the email for the Knick tribe, and here's the website for the KL7 JFU, or Mountain Husker Amateur Radio Association.
Cool.
They do in-person classes and testing, and they have field days, they have all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
Chicken has ham capability too. And yeah, that we don't have to talk to Connect. I have to have you come give your presentation up there.
I think so.
So what's the cost for a basic ham radio? So these ones are just the shorter ones of this. Runs about from 18 to 20, maybe 30.
That's it?
I know, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm like 1,000.
No, no. You can spend that much on the huge ones, but those ones,
That's awesome.
no.
That's cool.
Very, very affordable.
Goodness, my
Very affordable.
ADHD is fixating on this.
I know.
Something to add is, so that's the charger repair, but this, you can get earpieces for like in helmets. I found this one thing. What was that? I found this one thing. It connects to your radio, and it goes right here, so you can just click.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like,
That's nice in the winter.
Right? Unless you like accidentally like.
Because you don't need your fingers in your clothes.
Right. Sweet.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
summary. You can use them to communicate. Kids and teens can get a license. It's an appropriate license. You can talk to people in other countries. You can talk to astronauts, which I think is really cool.
Have you ever tried to talk to an astronaut?
Yes.
Did you?
We're waiting for it. I went on there. It missed.
It's so
Oh.
fast. Okay.
If you can catch them, then you can talk to them even as they pass a little bit, but you've got a very short window, so
She's got all the frequencies in there, so you use that.
yeah.
That's-
So if you can catch them, it's really cool.
That's so
Really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Okay.
You'd be like, Mom.
Sorry, the teacher in me is like that.
But you could say you
That's a
did
word
though.
problem.
I told her we gotta catch them just so you can say you did.
Right, right? You can help in emergencies by relaying information.
Well, that's, so City of Wasilla, the city hall actually has a tower, and